Good evening, otherworldlies. This is Queen Juliana, your Dark Mask Diva. Alright, so I was just online taking notes. This is just like a hodgepodge of good advice. I just thought I would just, share it for some content. So these are some phrases to disarm a manipulator. Alright, so these are just some things where you're just going to kind of just throw them off a little bit. It doesn't mean that it's going to stop them, but it's going to probably just throw them off a little bit. It might help you just kind of, throw them off. All right. So you can just say to them, I understand what you're saying. What else can they say to that? I understand what you're saying. Well, they can't really argue with that. When you say something like that, people like that, it's one of those things where you're on with a call center person. I understand what you're saying. It's kind of like a dirty trick, but the person's trying to manipulate you. So when you say something like that, they're trying to mess with you. So when you tell them you understand them, they're just kind of like, what? Because you understand they're trying to manipulate you, basically, right? So here's another one. I need time to think about it. Of course you need time to think about it. They're trying to make you make a snap decision right now because they're messing with you. So yeah, you need time to think about it. You're basically not wanting to do it. But they're trying to make you say yes right now. They're trying to bug you. They're trying to wheedle you. They're trying to get you to say yes now. They're trying to harass you into saying yes right now. So I need time to think about it. What you do is you just put them off until they're too frustrated to bother you anymore. All right. So it's really just who can frustrate who the most. Okay. That they're trying to manipulate you. You can just give them a flat no. You just say no. That's direct. Right? They're trying to manipulate you. You just tell them no. No. Can we discuss this when I'm less busy? You want to just get them to leave you alone. This is better when you're, say, like on the phone. Can we discuss this when I'm less busy? You can make it look like you're doing all these other things. You may not be doing anything at all. You can make it seem like you have a whole lot going on. If you're on the phone, you can just make it seem like you have a million things going on in your life. In fact, my advice that I always give my viewers is when you have manipulators in your life, you suddenly need to become very busy. You suddenly need to have a new job, go back to school. You need to have a whole lot going on in your life. You need to have picked up a bunch of new projects. You need to have a second job. You need to suddenly have a whole lot going on so you don't have time for any of their nonsense, okay? You need to make stuff up, and you need to make it sound credible. So you don't have time for any of their malarkey, okay? You need to make it sound believable too. And I mean, even if it only sounds halfway believable, you have an excuse to say no to them. And if they try to come at you again, oh, well, remember I went back to school. Remember I got that second job. I really don't have time. I'm sorry, I would if I could. So I mean, you're not just blatantly telling them no. So they can't call you an AH or anything like that. You're just, well, I have to help the kids with this. The kids have this big project coming up. But then you're going to have to make up another thing after that. So if you have this extra job and you have all these new expenses, make up something very believable, okay? Just if you have to, think for a few hours, come up with something really good, all right? I don't appreciate being spoken to this way. Sometimes that's all you have to say. You just have to, grow a backbone and say, I don't appreciate being spoken to this way. Maybe that's what you have to say. Let's explore other options. The other options is them not trying to mess with you. But what you want to do is you want to put more responsibility back on them. When you say other options, it's you not picking up the slack, it's them picking up the slack. But that's basically what the other options are, okay? When you're exploring other options, you want to put it back on them. You want to put everything back on them because they're trying to manipulate you. So you want to turn it around, and it's all back on them, okay? So that you want to teach them not to try to hit you up anymore. That doesn't work for me. Just let them know it doesn't work for you. I have a different perspective on this. They can be saying, well, this and that and this and that. Okay, they want to convince you of whatever they're saying. They're trying to gaslight you, basically. Okay, they're trying to change your perception of the situation to fit their narrative. No, I actually have a different perspective on this. That's not how I see the situation. Okay, and this really doesn't work for me. I don't see this working out for me. No. Okay. So let's move on to things people find attractive. This is more of a cheerful sort of thing. Use more of your body language rather than using words. The less you say, the more people like you. Okay, so when you're using body language rather than words, people tend to like you more. Okay, so you want to use positive body language, positive open body language. Because if you're using your vibe more and using positive body language more and saying less, it seems like the less you say, the more people like you. The more positive body language you have, like good posture, a smile, and the less you say, the more people are going to like you, okay? You want to avoid over-introducing yourself. Okay? You don't want to introduce yourself twice. I run into people who keep introducing themselves every time I see them. Yes, we've met before. Well, you act like you don't remember me. Now, when I act like I don't remember somebody, it's because I don't like them. So they over-introduce themselves again. Because they're basically trying to push themselves on me. Okay, that's just me showing them I don't like them. Okay, so you don't want to over-introduce yourself because that person's trying to show you they don't like you. Okay? Be open to learning and asking for help. Now, if you're one of those people that can drop your defenses and ask for help, all right, that shows that you're actually confident, that you're not too proud to ask for help, that you don't feel like you're better than other people. And that level of vulnerability is actually very charming. All right, it shows that you do not think you're better, okay, and that you think highly of somebody that you're asking them for help. People tend to like you because of that. Unless you're somebody who always has their hand out. Now, you don't want to be that person. But if you ask for help, it shows that you don't think you're better than other people. Okay? Don't boast. You know what boasting is, right? It's where you're like bragging about yourself. You don't want to oversell yourself. You don't want to boast about your accomplishments. Because anyone who's really accomplished anything in life had a lot of help from other people. Let's keep it real. If you've done anything with your life, it's because other people have been there and helped, okay? That's how life works. It's really other people being there and helping you. So you don't want to boast like, I did this all myself. Okay, now if you've done something remarkable, don't be afraid to toot your own horn, but you don't want to make it seem like you're some kind of super person. You don't want to be intimidating, and you don't want to seem unapproachable, And you don't want to alienate other people. Boasting is really an ugly trait. Okay. Let go of needing to know. Life is a mystery. You don't need to know everything. Tomorrow, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And you don't necessarily need to know what's going to happen tomorrow. Okay? Just let tomorrow happen. You don't need to set yourself up to have anxiety. All right? You don't know what's going to happen. Nobody does. Nobody can truly predict what's going to happen tomorrow. And I know it's a control thing. And a lot of us that grew up with uncertainty are obsessed with, well, what's going on? What's going on tomorrow? What's this? What's that? Just let it go. Hone in sharp listening skills. Good listeners are hard to come by. If you're actually able to clear your mind and listen, you might need to learn to meditate. You might need to learn to become an active listener, but if you can, you're better off than most people, and you have a skill that most people don't have. Okay? Now let's move on to habits of insecure people. Insecure people, they are to be avoided, and you are to not be one. Okay? But this is how to spot them. Okay? They are people pleasers. Insecure people are people pleasers. And they're like, people pleasers are like doormats. Okay? They become victims of narcissists. So that's why you don't want to be one. Okay? So what happens is not everybody who is a victim of a narcissist is necessarily insecure or a people pleaser, but that is one of the types of people that they go after. So you definitely don't want to be one of those. Okay? So people who are seeking constant validation, do not seek constant validation. I mean, you will need to know sometimes if you're doing something right or wrong. Do not seek constant validation. The only person who could really validate you is yourself. Okay? Don't seek it. Don't seek it outside. You need to be right within. Okay? You don't seek constant validation. That's just a recipe for not liking yourself. It's a recipe for insanity. Comparing yourself to others. The only person you should really be competing with is yourself. Okay, am I better than I was yesterday? That's what's important. Am I a better person than I was yesterday? Okay. Am I mentally present? Am I more mentally present today than I was yesterday? Am I a better person? Okay. Don't compare yourself to other people. Their journey is different than yours. No two people are exactly alike. So you can't really compare yourself to other people. A perfectionist. That's an insecure thing. How are you ever going to like yourself if you're a perfectionist? Because you're never going to be perfect. So that's socially unintelligent right there. Because you're setting yourself up to fail. You're never going to be perfect. Okay, so you're being mean to yourself. You're going to make yourself feel awful. No, don't be a perfectionist. And it's harder. It's harder for some people than others. Risk averse. Okay, if you don't take calculated risks, you'll never get ahead in life. Okay, and I know a lot of people suffer from anxiety, and a lot of people, when they were growing up, were told they could not do something for one reason or another, and for some awful reason they believed it. You need to take calculated risks. You need to put some measure of intelligence in there, and you need to put some strategy in there. But you need to take a calculated risk every now and again. Okay, you can't be scared to do every little thing. You have to take calculated risks, or else you will not get ahead in life, okay? You must not be risk averse, or else you are incredibly insecure. All right, self-sabotaging. The biggest way to fail is getting in your own way. It's not other people in your way, it's you in your own way. Self-sabotaging. Defensive. You know, people who get upset about every little thing. Who take everything everybody says the wrong way. I don't mean people who are sensitive. I mean people that are just overly sensitive and take everything everybody says the wrong way. Defensive about everything. Just no. Okay. People who over apologize. Have you ever been around these people that just say sorry for no reason? Like they'll say something and go, oh, no, and you'll say, oh no, I didn't mean that. And they go, sorry. And you're like, you don't need to say sorry. And they'll go, sorry. Have you been around people like that? It's like a sign of insecurity, okay? And you don't know why they're like that. People who need constant reassurance. I won't constantly reassure somebody. That's them being high maintenance, and I won't put up with that. I won't constantly reassure somebody, and I will tell them I won't constantly reassure you. Okay? No, I won't do that for somebody. So people that need constant reassurance are, they emotionally drain you, okay? And that is a sign of insecurity. That's a sign of very low self-esteem. And I've been around too many people like that, and they've tried to do that to me. They've tried to make me constantly reassure them. They've tried to put me to task, make me constantly reassure them, and I've told them, I'm not going to constantly reassure you. I'm going to reassure you once, and then you're going to run with it, and you're going to get one reassurance from me, and that's it. Okay? People who self-criticize. Have you ever seen people literally self-talk themselves out loud? Like they'll make a mistake and then they'll yell at themselves, like they'll call themselves names. Like I've actually been around people that do that, where they'll yell at themselves, you know, they'll yell their own name and they'll go, "You're so stupid," and they'll get mad at themselves. I know you know somebody like that. Like I've been around people like that, and I've said, "Do you hear the way you're talking to yourself right now? Like you're literally like yelling at yourself, like you're like an abusive parent yelling at a child. Is that how your parent talked to you? Because you're being like super mean to yourself right now." But they self-criticize and they'll say, "Oh, I'm so fat, I'm so ugly, I'm so stupid." I'm like, why are you talking about yourself like that? Like, oh my God. So, I mean, people who just put themselves down. Now, here's the thing. Do not put yourself down, all right? It's unintelligent to put yourself down. Like, I never ask anyone if I look bad. Like, I've never once asked anyone, do these pants, does this dress, does this outfit make me look fat? I don't ever give anyone a chance to tell me if I look fat. I've never once done that. Seriously. Because why would I give anyone a chance to put me down like that? That is, well, I guess I have high self-esteem, but that just seems like a really dumb thing to do. Give somebody a chance to put you down like that, right? So to me, that's just like asking for somebody to put you down. They're either going to lie to you and say no, but figure it out. You have two eyes. You already know if you're fat or not. You already know if the outfit makes you look bad. If you think the outfit makes you look bad, just don't wear it. Don't ask other people's opinion. Just change. And don't make other people uncomfortable. Don't make them fib to make you feel better. Right? Don't ask other people if they think you look fat. Just change if you don't like the way you look in the outfit, okay? That's my 2 cents on that one. So that's all I have to say for this content, and I hope you guys got something out of that. And I love you all, and thank you for your time, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.